right, we're gonna get started, everybody.
10 years. Counting or not counting gang violence?
Great.
Our story unfolds in the United States on September 10th, 2025. On that Wednesday, political commentator Charlie Kirk was gunned down while addressing a crowd at Utah Valley University. Officials stated that at approximately 12:10 in the afternoon, a lone bullet struck Kirk in the neck, prompting an immediate evacuation by his protection detail. The video evidence is harrowing, and I strongly advise against viewing the graphic close-ups. Emergency responders hurried him to a local medical center in grave condition, but he passed away moments later. Back at the venue, the instant the shot rang out, panic swept through the audience as people scrambled for shelter. At first, many assumed the sharp crack was just a gag, maybe a confetti cannon going off. That illusion vanished the second they spotted the severe wound on Kirk's neck. Pandemonium erupted among the roughly 3,000 attendees, who dove to the floor or bolted for the exits while bodyguards dragged the victim to safety. However, amidst the terror, one individual stood out, reacting not with fear, but with apparent jubilation the moment the weapon fired. Even stranger, this person appeared to pivot toward the sniper's nest, throwing their hands up in triumph over the unfolding tragedy. He presumably watched the speaker collapse and understood the gravity of the situation. This behavior sparked intense debate. Why didn't he take cover? For all he knew, an active shooter was spraying the crowd. Yet, he remained the sole figure in the sea of people who showed absolutely no fear. While unverified, public outcry is demanding this man be interrogated, with theories swirling that he had foreknowledge of the hit, though such rumors should be viewed with extreme skepticism. Miraculously, no bystanders were hit or wounded during the assassination. Police immediately classified the incident as a calculated assassination and initiated a massive search operation for the gunman. Detectives estimate the assailant entered the campus perimeter around 11:52 in the morning. He reportedly navigated to a rooftop vantage point with a direct line of sight to the stage. From that perch, he took the fatal shot, striking Kirk before leaping from the building's rear and vanishing into the adjacent residential area. Surveillance systems recorded the fugitive, whom authorities describe as a young male, likely college-aged. Dressed in dark attire, he appeared to be trying to merge with the student body. The FBI circulated a photo of this suspect, stating, "We are soliciting public assistance to locate this individual regarding the homicide of Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University." Officials are stressing that they believe this was the act of a lone wolf. Current intelligence suggests a single marksman with no indication of a second accomplice. Law enforcement has also announced the retrieval of vital forensic materials. A high-caliber bolt-action rifle, presumed to be the tool of the crime, was discovered in a thicket along the suspect's escape route. Crime scene technicians also secured a shoe tread, a palm impression, and a forearm print for lab testing. Federal agents confirmed their labs are processing the firearm and biological traces, operating 24/7 to generate leads. To date, the Bureau has fielded over 130 citizen tips, with more coming in by the hour. The lead detectives declared, "We will not rest until this fugitive is in handcuffs." Social media soon lit up with clips, including leaked footage seemingly showing the sniper positioned on the rooftop. Early news cycles erroneously reported that the killer had been captured, but those claims proved false. In the immediate aftermath, officers handcuffed two persons of interest on the grounds, but both were cleared and let go shortly after. Viral videos depicted police seizing an older gentleman with white hair right after the chaos broke out. One popular video shows uniformed and undercover agents gripping the senior citizen by the arms and marching him off. During the scuffle, the man's trousers slipped down to his ankles, creating an undignified spectacle. In other recordings, the detainee is audible screaming, "Just shoot me, shoot me!" A witness described the scene, noting the man was on his knees, yelling about his civil liberties before being shackled and hauled away. Crucially, a responding patrolman was caught on audio remarking, "He claims he pulled the trigger, but I'm not sure." This implies the man might have falsely confessed in the heat of the moment, or perhaps his words were misunderstood. Naturally, this intense arrest led the crowd to believe the sniper had been caught. However, officials quickly clarified that the elderly captive was not the gunman, but rather 71-year-old George Zinn. Zinn is a notorious local figure, familiar to police as a serial agitator at political gatherings. Locals instantly identified him from the footage as the disruptor who frequently crashes rallies to stir up trouble. The guy's rap sheet is miles long, packed with years of causing trouble and previous run-ins with the law. We are talking everything from trespassing charges to a bomb threat incident back in 2013, plus a whole lifetime of stirring up chaos at protests. While authorities paint Zinn as just an eccentric oddball operating on his own, not everyone is buying that narrative. Skeptics argue his little stunt was actually a calculated diversion, a smokescreen designed to let the real assassin slip away unnoticed. Still, law enforcement didn't exactly let George Zinn walk out the front door scotangent-free. Officers slapped cuffs on him and filed formal charges for obstruction of justice. While the department hasn't released every gritty detail, it is a safe bet that creating chaos in the middle of an active shooter situation is what landed him in a cell. Then the media zeroed in on another name, Zachariah Casey, a 20-something-year-old spotted on the university grounds when shots rang out, though labeled strictly as a person of interest. You have to understand, in the immediate aftermath, investigators were flying blind with almost zero solid intel. Bystanders started finger-pointing at anyone acting strange, leading cops to grab anybody who even remotely fit the profile. Reports say Zachariah looked rattled, pacing around the edge of the crime scene, which naturally drew eyes. After a round of interrogation, detectives ruled him out completely. He was never actually an accused suspect, a crucial distinction in a case like this. To be perfectly clear, officials in Utah have gone on record stating neither of these men is linked to the actual assassination. Right now, the triggerman is still in the wind, triggering a massive manhunt involving everyone from local beat cops to federal heavy hitters like the FBI and ATF. Like I said earlier, detectives have secured what they call high-quality surveillance tape of the gunman and are running it through cutting-edge analysis to put a name to the face. The Bureau is begging the public for leads, while the driving force behind this violence remains a frustrating question mark. That said, investigators recovered shell casings at the scene etched with anti-fascist slogans, strongly suggesting this hit was driven by political ideology. The internet's response to the murder has been polarized, to put it mildly. Supporters are eulogizing Charlie Kirk as a devoted Christian father and a warrior for his convictions. On the flip side, plenty viewed him as a polarizing lightning rod because of his hardline positions on Israel, abortion, and his controversial rhetoric targeting the trans community, among others. Consequently, you have detractors arguing he got what was coming to him, with some even cheering the dark irony that a staunch gun rights advocate died by the gun. Disturbingly, there are even threads popping up, compiling hit lists of other pundits who might be next. But look, no matter where you stand on Kirk's politics, the truly gut-wrenching part is that his family was right there. Nobody should have to watch their dad get executed like that. At the end of the day, a little girl has lost the chance to ever hug her father again, and that is a tragedy,